Alright, nice. I think we're on. Now we just wait for everybody to show up. Yeah. Still working on getting the stream starting shortly screen and everything else. Don't have it yet, but sometime soon I'll have some time to get that together. Let's see who will be first to pop into chat. Now, if anybody's watching the VOD for this sometime in the future, then welcome to Paleontologizing. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and I'm here out in the field doing what dinosaur paleontologists do during the summer in North America. We go out and we dig for dinosaurs. So that's what I'm doing out here in western Wyoming. And Zorox88 is first today. How are you doing, Zorox? Welcome, welcome. Tommy Plodicus, what's shaking with you? Great to see you. Thank you, Captain Lummy, for the 20 months of support. I appreciate that very much. Would not be out here. Wouldn't be able to be here on Twitch if it were not for the support of wonderful viewers like you. So thank you for that, Captain Lummy. Yeah. And Birds of Dead On, what's shaking with you? Good to see you. Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Yeah. Windy western Wyoming. Indeed, weird adult. Although, it's very calm right now. Just trying to savor this before the winds come back. But, yeah. Tactile 3D Picture, how are you doing? Welcome back. Magsmus, what's shaking with you? I hope you're doing well. Rizudegu, hello. Arle, how are you doing, Arle? I don't think the Tradoon sound command will work on these mobile streams, but I hope you're having a great day so far, Arle. Stink is back. How are you doing, Stink? Welcome. Great to have you here. Yeah. And FMSSK, how are you doing, FMS? I'm glad you could make it. Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Spotato31, how are you doing? Welcome. I think T-Rex meat would taste like... I'm exactly the wrong person to ask that question, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not really much of a meat guy. But, yeah, Tyrannosaurus is close to not just chickens, but all birds. It's, Tyrannosaurus is one of the most recent of the non-bird theropod dinosaurs. But it belongs to the same family that all birds belong to. Tyrannosaurus isn't particularly close to chickens. It's basically equally related to all modern birds. So yeah. But yeah, go for Fluffernut. How are you doing, Fluff? Welcome back. Swims with Whales. Great to have you here. I'm just saying hello to everybody at this point. And then the guys are making dinner over there. We're going to have pasta tonight. Yeah, how are you doing, Science Streams? Welcome. Great to see you. And the Lenina, how are you doing, Lenina? I hope you had a great day today. It's good to see you. Yeah. Again, I'm here out in the wilds of western Wyoming. And we had a really good day today, digging dinosaurs. So I'll be talking more about that in a little bit, and we'll go talk to the crew about it. And we'll have some dinner. So yeah. And Dr. Tara, we are back indeed. Yes, indeed. How are you, Dr. Tara? It's good to have you here. But yeah. Reza Dego says, I would suspect a tougher chicken meat. No, we're having pasta, actually. I'll show you. Yeah. Let's go see what's going on over there, shall we? Turn the camera around, I'll show you camp, and show you the Starlink, and our supply tent over there. And, holy cow, oops. Hopefully I didn't disconnect the camera there. Claire Burr and Raiders, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Claire, I hope you had a wonderful stream. It is great to see you. Let's go see what's going on over there in camp. But yeah. And, anyway, yeah. Let's go check it out. Yeah, so here's our beautiful camp right here. And this lovely little wash in between all of these beautifully sculpted sandstone rocks. You can see all those holes carved in them by wind. It does get very, very windy here. Yeah. So here is camp. Yeah. There's Adam sitting over there. Hey, Adam. And there's the reason that we can broadcast from out here. That is the Starlink, like I showed you last night. There it is again. Yeah. And here is our makeshift supply tent that Adam kind of jury-rigged together, and it's working beautifully so far. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Happy stream.
Some tomatoes.
You caught the last round of tomatoes.
Beautiful.
Going into the pot. Bam!
Nice.
You got the last one. That one's for you.
All right, so tell us what we're having tonight.
We're having a little bit of pasta, penne, with a little bit of red sauce.
Beautiful.
A little bit of ham burger, and a little bit of veggie burger for Danny.
Very nice. That's a lot of veggie burger. Wow.
Two whole circles.
I'm gonna eat all of that, and it's gonna be great. Yeah.
I do like it. I might have overcooked it.
No, you really can't ruin that stuff. It's yeah. But yeah.
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
Like a chip.
People are saying hello, scientists.
Hello.
So yeah, we had a pretty good day today. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit. But yeah. So again, there's the supply tent. There is my tent, which is ridiculously large. But it's basically like an office, you know? I figure if I'm going to be out in the field for 2 or 3 months out of every year for the foreseeable future, I might as well get myself a decent-sized tent. And here we go. Yeah. Oops. No, we're good. So it's kind of messy right now, but that's where I sleep, on that cot. This little desk. I did bring the ukulele. That is here. And then here is one of my chairs. So yeah, it is a horrid mess right now. But later on in the summer, I'll get things properly organized, and we'll do some streams from inside the tent. We'll probably have some rain days at some point here, and so I'll try and do some streams from inside the tent, using my laptop and everything else. Maybe we'll do some fossil news roundups and some good old-fashioned Q&A and that kind of thing. You know. And the tent is massive. Holy cow, Lenina. It is pretty gigantic. Yeah. And I've got it right here, next to this little rock promontory. This is one of the very few places I could find where the ground is level enough for 14 feet by 10 feet. And we've got this rock as a nice windbreak here. So hopefully that works as intended, because we get some crazy strong winds that come through this part of the world. And people's tents have just been shredded. So cross their fingers that doesn't happen to me. But I've got some faith in this tent. It's pretty solid, I think. Yeah, and it's weighed down with rocks on the inside also. So yeah. But anyway, and you did spot the sun helmet Golganek. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So let's take a look at this lithology here. Yeah. Let's see, this is all wind eroded. On the other side, it's all carved up. Take a look at this. Look at that. That is wind erosion. Crazy, crazy strong winds through here. So yeah. Really is a beautiful area. Here, give me a second. Let me put this over my shoulder. Here. That way I've got both arms free. There we go. But yeah. Anyway, and yeah, very trippy rocks, right, Claire Burr? Yeah, cool stuff. It's a beautiful place to have camp, really. We're very lucky. And take a look at those cliffs there. Yeah. We'll see how far we can get from the Starlink before the connection cuts out. The router is in my tent, which is right back there, so we should be okay. But yeah. Oh, in the biz we call this a wash through here, because that's where the water washes down during a storm. You can see all those ripples there. Those are probably created by wind, actually. Aeolian ripples. Yeah, and earlier, just not half an hour ago, there was a falcon sitting up there on that ridge, at the top of that the little rock promontory, right up there. It was very cool. Got my little binoculars, and it sounded like a peregrine falcon, but the tail seemed kind of broader. It might be a prairie falcon, which I'm not familiar with. I'm just guessing, because, we're out here, and yeah, I don't know. It would make sense to see a prairie falcon. Do they have a wider tail? Does anybody in chat know? Birds of Denon, you might well know. Yeah. And yeah, for Thursday Birds Day, there you go, not the bees, I completely forgot. It is Thursday Birds Day, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. And St. Louis Moses almost looks like the surface of Mars, minus obvious signs of life. Well, yeah, we have quite a few signs of life here. It is incredibly green out. This is, not used to this. Out in the field and just seeing everything so green. This is actually the first real time I've done fieldwork in Wyoming. But I don't know, I've driven through Wyoming many times, and it is never this green in southwest Wyoming. So this is pretty special, actually. I mean, it's a sign that we've gotten a tremendous amount of rain here, which we got rain a few times today also, which was kind of a bummer. It interrupted our work several times. But cross your fingers, tomorrow, no rain. And if there is no rain, then I can stream from at least one dinosaur site. I don't know if I'll do the ceratopsian site or the hadrosaur site, but should be pretty cool to see us digging up a dinosaur live. I was hoping to do that today, but it just kept raining off and on, and it takes a while to get all the equipment set up and everything, and it would have been pretty disappointing for everybody to set that up and then have to stop 4 minutes later because it's raining, Yeah. And, yeah. Signed Dice says, can't believe it's been a year since I last saw you on a dig. Yeah, almost. Almost a year. That would have been July last year. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more of that this year because I've got connectivity. We've got the Starlink. So yeah. Check that out. And I think we might be about to sit down and have some dinner. So let's go see that. Yeah. Paleostream says, send some rain over. We need it here. I wish I could. Paleostream. How you doing, by the way? It's good to see you. Here, let's go eat. Is anybody else eating dinner right now, too? Dinner with the paleontologists. All right. How is it? Nice. Let's see. Maybe I can set this up. Do I tempt fate and set it up on the woodpile? Nah. Let's just put it right over here. Take this off. All right, let's see how that framing is.
You got some? Oh, yeah. I've got none of mine. Getting sand?
Mm-hmm.
Any sand in your meal, Adam?
No. I might have taken the top bowl.
Very,
All right.
rough.
That's looking pretty okay. Nice. Tommy Plodicus wants to know, how was the digging today, lads?
It was excellent.
Pretty great. Yeah, I would say so.
How much rain we got?
Yeah.
Given how much rain there was, it was really productive.
Yeah, that's the thing. Normally, rain is like a deal breaker for a day of field work, but we've been able to kind of maneuver around it a bit. It's been nice. Yeah. So, Nick's trying to make a fire right now.
We found...
Not trying, succeeding, I'll say.
There it is. Nice. We found where Nick's plausible ceratopsian skull is going into the ground.
Yeah.
So that means there's a good chance that we have more of the skull of this dinosaur.
Awesome.
Which means that alone, if it's what we think it is, and if it's relatively in good shape, it means it would make the entire trip justified, even if we found nothing else.
Yeah. Pretty excellent.
That's good news.
Because it's going to be new. I mean, yeah, we don't have a ceratopsian from this horizon yet.
Tomorrow we'll see if our dreams are dreams.
How's the glue looking, by the way?
I haven't checked. I haven't wanted to.
Oh.
I'm scared.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go get some dinner, but
Okay, if I help out.
yeah.
Sure. Feel free.
We should talk about Quinn's microsite, too. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah. Tell me what you found.
On top of finding a turtle, which was in pretty good condition, but so that was reassuring because no one else saw the site yesterday other than me. But,
Paper or something.
Try to get a napkin. Turned out to be like a microbiome site with a lot of extra stuff in there, including like fish teeth, gar scales, and all the rest. I don't know.
Croc teeth.
Croc teeth.
We found the tooth of a skate, kind of like a ray thing. So we basically doubled the number of creatures known from this formation in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Pretty impressive.
Not all of it's the stuff you'd go to a museum to see, like big dinosaurs and stuff. Some of it's just stuff that could fit on the head of a pin can be the most important things you find sometimes. And so this is going to help us learn about all the different aspects of the ecosystem other than dinosaurs. It's pretty exciting.
Really exciting, yeah. Yeah, can we maybe explain the concept of a faunal list and what that means for a formation for the viewers at home?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's basically like a cast in a movie. Once the credits roll, you see starring so-and-so, extras, these people. So a faunal list is the list of organisms that are known to occur in a certain formation, a certain age of rock in a certain place. So what we're doing is filling out the cast of characters that lived in this time and place in Wyoming 73 million years ago. And we know virtually nothing about which actors were around back then.
I like that analogy. That works really well, I think. Yeah.
These actors were unpaid, and I'm sure some of them were harmed in the making of this film.
But yeah.
Very true.
And yeah, Kodala, yeah, exactly. Filling in the ecosystem. Trying to figure out what kinds of critters were here. Because every single organism gives us a clue as to what this environment would have been like. You know, you're not going to find crocodiles, for instance, in an area that's, freezing tundra or something like that. There's a bunch of different ways that you can figure out what the ancient environment would have been like in a certain place. And, the biota, especially the animals there, they could be a really important clue. That and the flora, looking at the plants. But we don't really have any plant people on our crew. We're focusing on the animals for this. So, but yeah.
How's the pasta?
Yeah, how was it?
Oh, I really like it. This is great.
Veggie burgers good?
Definitely. Thank you.
Veggie lumps?
And the tomatoes diced up in there, they definitely add something too.
Nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese. Nice.
And thank you, D. Maxwell, for the support. I appreciate those gift subs. That's excellent. Yeah. Doki Doki Bako wants to know, how cold is it there? Those jackets are making me hot. It's kind of chilly. Yeah.
Pretty chilly, yeah.
I think the high today was around 13 Celsius.
13 Celsius for everybody who uses, metric. What are you guys' feelings on metric versus Fahrenheit? Or Celsius versus Fahrenheit?
Always Celsius.
Yeah.
Easy enough to convert.
Uh-huh.
And generally applicable for
It's-
people outside the U.S.
Yeah. I mean, having zero be freezing just kind of makes sense. I've heard somebody say once that, trying to explain what the different scales are good for. It's like Fahrenheit is how people feel, Celsius is how water feels, Kelvin is how atoms feel, I think.
That's
an oversimplification, but yeah.
Frames of reference.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, might have a new viewer here, Dragonath.
Do you want like a hair tie?
Dragonath asks, I've recently been getting into serious paleo art, and some things I had trouble with were finding resources that looked in the climate/environment of certain areas, like Laos, for example, with ichthyovenators. Do we have any advice on how to look for information on that kind of thing? I don't know.
It's not the kind of thing you can really just Google.
Yeah, it's...
You kind of have to look it up in papers.
I mean, speaking about like fauna lists like we were before, Wikipedia is often a good place to start if you're not really familiar with the literature already. So you
if
can
look at the fauna list for the almond formation on Wikipedia, it's totally wrong.
yeah.
It's got a bunch of stuff that's never been found here. But Wikipedia is usually a great source for that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But always, go through to the references and look at the original sources. Yeah, I don't know. Ron Blakey's paleo maps are.
Pretty cool.
If you've got a particular time and place, like say Laos in the early Cretaceous, yeah, you can look up one of these paleo maps that Ron Blakey put together, and it'll give you a pretty good sense for like what that area what Earth looked like at that time. So you can pinpoint that spot on the globe and you go, is this coastal? Is this inland? Is this underwater at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can give you some kind of sense for, how you should reconstruct that ancient environment.
You could also, a practicable tip is if you haven't done this already, is if you go into Google Scholar and look up the name of the formation from the animal your thing is from, you should find all kinds of papers that are not about the fossils, hopefully. And then if you read maybe the first paragraph of those, the abstract, you might be able to get some sense of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of papers on plants deal with climate and environment, so maybe if you find a paper about the plants from your place, you might be able to learn something more generally about.
It's good advice, yeah. I mean, it's tricky, like Ethan said earlier. There's usually not a lot of information out there. There's very few resources that have been created especially for paleo artists trying to reconstruct the flora of certain environments in the ancient past. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, like, you could fill an important niche there. I'm sure a lot of other artists would be very grateful to you if you could compile some good resources for them. Yeah. Does the paleobiology database have info on plants as well, or does it geared more toward...
It's everything, I think, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe check out the paleobiology database as well.
It's an incredible resource.
Yeah. I really need to get back into that. I remember looking at it back when the data in it were not particularly good. It's been cleaned up a lot, and...
Macarano did a lot of the...
Oh, yeah. I was talking to him about that at the conference, and, yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
How did he do that? Did he just, like, go through the literature and find references to everything? Wow.
I mean, it's just a lot of grunt work.
That sounds really exhausting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he said he went through a lot of stuff that wasn't digitized yet, too. So, like, all kinds of resources from libraries, and lots of interlibrary loan stuff.
Probably learned a ton.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, the Paleobiology Database. I think pbdb.org. Does that sound right? It's a great resource for you.
And then it's a globe. It's a flat map of the Earth. And you click on what time period you're interested in, or you type in what kind of creature you're interested in, and it'll show you all of the occurrences around the world of that fossil. So it's really good if you're trying to learn about who lived where and when and that kind of thing. Pretty impressive.
It's a great resource for people publishing, too. Like, see more and more papers nowadays that are... Your data was mostly gleaned from the PBDB. But yeah... And yeah, Dragonath. I mean, that stuff comes with time. You'll kind of learn more about the geology the more that you look into it. Just don't get discouraged,
Do I look that number?
Yeah.
Your number? My number?
Yeah.
I don't look
Oh, and tactile 3D picture. I don't really have an opportunity to look at.
It might be from the outside.
Is it in the Discord? Maybe I can take a look tonight, but we'll see. Thank you for posting that. I'm sure it's really cool. Yeah.
Sport mode.
Sahel Wolf asks, "Are the beans tasty?" I don't know. I haven't had any beans.
This
Got-
is a bean-free camp.
Pasta right here. Oh, actually, there are beans in the
About-
veggie burgers, probably.
12 cans of beans. I don't think we're going to use them for this.
Awesome.
I feel like we're
I'll
not.
go do some cans of beans.
We'll probably have a big bean night on the last night.
Yeah.
A big bean blowout.
So, Nick, you probably eat a lot of beans and toast over in England. You could chef up
Yeah.
some breakfast for us. An English breakfast.
We've got a question from a new viewer.
Whoa.
Spitzer YBX asked, "Jurassic Park book or movie?" Ed, I don't know. I'm probably a little bit more partial to the movie, honestly. I don't know. It seems to kind of have more affection for its dinosaurs, and that's kind of what I want in a movie. Just like, yeah, I don't know.
Never read the book, but the movie's fire.
Oh, you've never read the book?
Never
Oh,
read the
okay.
book.
Yeah. I think I read it back in middle school. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of like Michael Crichton's kind of pet ideas in there that he really pushes. No, more stuff about like mathematics, chaos theory,
yeah.
stuff like that. It's funny, like anything that Crichton writes, there's usually at least a few characters in there who are like medical doctors or nurses or something too, because I think that was part of his background early on.
Huh.
And he like finds a way to
with med
shoehorn
school.
that into just about everything.
Huh. You write what you know.
Yeah. But it's often like, here's people on some medical staff somewhere, and they figure something else out that everybody else is too dumb to understand. It's like medical people are often like his protagonists.
Dragon Teeth was pretty entertaining, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was really good.
I didn't get through it to the very end. I need to get back to it, but it's
Yeah.
It's just
you can
harmless fun.
you can
Yeah.
kind of tell where, like, which parts were unfinished
Where
when he died.
He died like
Yeah.
mid-sentence.
Yeah. Not mid sentence, but like, I don't know. And there's some stuff that's really kind of insightful about Cope and Marsh in there, and then there's other stuff that's been ghost written that's just completely bonkers wrong. Like,
I read Sternberg's biography after I read
oh yeah.
Dragon Teeth. And
Uh-huh.
there were some things in there that were like true events. And
Yeah,
it
some
was-
of it is almost like word for word too. It's
Yeah.
like it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Is that Life of a Fossil Hunter? Yeah.
Great book.
Definitely.
Like
recommend it.
1904 or something. Or
Yeah.
Really old.
Yeah. There's that introduction at the beginning by Osborne.
Yeah.
It's like all this lofty language about paleontologists are like they're like big game hunters, except rather than bringing a species closer to extinction,
They bring
they're
them back to life.
resurrecting the dead. Yeah.
He's, pretty flowery, beautiful writing.
Yeah.
I've actually brought that up many times. That same.
Oh, yeah?
Um,
It's a fun concept.
it is
Yeah.
a fun concept. It is the opposite of hunting, even though it's similar in a lot of ways, like living outside, being communal, working hard, covering a lot of distance. But it is truly the opposite.
Yeah.
Is that you're not killing anything. You're doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
There's anything wrong with killing stuff.
They evolved to be hunters, man. We evolved to be big game hunters. 300,000 years of evolution for it. So I think this does a pretty good job of kind of satiating
Simulating
those
it.
instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arle wants to know any other digs that we know of going on in Wyoming right now.
Yeah. Andy Farkey.
Oh yeah, okay. Is he working up to the Lance?
He's working in the Mesa Verde Formation,
Oh, interesting.
which is another underexplored
Uh-huh.
Campanian age deposit in Wyoming. He's starting to figure out that it's actually early Campanian,
Really?
which people thought it was middle or late, but
Mhm.
he's got a bunch of fish and whatnot.
That's an
Pushing it
an
back.
era that's not that well known.
Yeah.
Because we kind of like Dinosaur Park mid-campaign. There's a ton there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Wahweap, that's mid-Campanian, or early Campanian, that's
Okay.
a few things, but it's very poorly
Yeah.
compared to other places.
But by the time we get this really good terrestrial record of mid-campaign, it's like Chasmosaurs, Centrosaurs, all those guys have all
Blow
already
up.
evolved a lot. It's kinda, getting some stuff from lower down would be really nice to help resolve some of these evolutionary trees.
Yeah.
Help fill in some of those gaps.
He's starting to find some good stuff, too.
Oh, what's he got out there?
I think he's got, some of it's secrets. I know he's found bits of hadrosaurs and like a lot of small vertebrates.
Okay.
And it's the small vertebrates that are kind of filling in the gap. I don't know what I'm not supposed to say, so I probably shouldn't say anything.
Fair enough.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Found aliens out there.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
UFOs.
Oh, now the government's come with their black helicopters.
We got a question from, I think, another new viewer. Welcome, Doggy Dale.
Doggy Dale.
They want to know, do you have to go to college to be a paleontologist, or can I just dig stuff up? That's...
Depends where you are.
Yeah,
If it's your backyard, you can dig up whatever you want. If it's your friend's backyard, you can dig up whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Give permission, yeah.
They're amateurs who make huge contributions. Like people are just like enthusiasts that go out and collect stuff, and then they donate to museums, gets written up. So yeah, you can make a huge contribution that way.
Yeah, and you can absolutely volunteer on a dig without having any kind of credentials or anything like that. You know, we always need volunteers, and yeah, if you think you'd be good in the field, you know, contact a museum or meet some people. See if you can get involved.
Yeah, it's totally different skill sets. Like just because you're good at writing papers and good at taking tests and things like that, like academically good, you might be terrible in the field and vice versa. So some of the people who are best in the field are not necessarily people who have tons of education. That's not going to teach you how to find dinosaurs or how not to get killed in the Badlands. So
point,
yeah, I mean, if you just like want to go out and find stuff, there's ways to do that, and you don't need a heck of a lot of education to do it.
Or any. I mean, if you're a relatively smart person who's wants to learn, is excited and has some motivation, you can learn what bone fragments look like in an hour. And like Adam, on his second day out here, found a bunch of dinosaur bones at one site. Went from never having seen a fossil on the ground to finding important fossils immediately. So.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
I can do it, anyone can.
He actually is in college, though, as well. But it's not a prerequisite necessarily.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the bulk of dinosaurs in most museums now were not found by people whose job it was to collect dinosaurs. Maybe
Probably fair.
Maybe in the U.S.
Yeah. Like the individual sites found by maybe volunteers on the crew, or yeah. Some of the more prolific collectors maybe didn't have a background in science at all. People like Harley Garbani, who worked with LACM and UCMP.
Or rancher or something.
He was a plumber.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He lived in Southern California. He'd go out into the field, and he found, like, I think almost all of the Tyrannosaur specimens that LACM has. He found
It was
like baby
the third
Triceratops.
T-Rex ever. Like, it was incredible.
Yeah.
That LACM skull was like, they were a handful by then.
Yeah. Yeah. The baby Triceratops skull, Harley Garbani found that too.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Huh.
The one that's at UCMP, yeah.
Was that just not prepared until late?
No, he found it back in the 80s, I think. I think it might have been 1980 that he found it.
Did he collect it himself, or did he?
I think he did collect it himself, yeah. He's really good at collecting things also. He passed away back in the 90s, I think.
I did not expect him to be a plumber. I thought he would for sure be a rancher. It's like him,
Yeah.
in the Badlands, those photos of him, he looks so one with the landscape. Southern California.
Yeah, so, I mean, just about anybody can do this if they put their mind to it, and if they've... Well, not everybody can do it, but let me say that you don't need to necessarily have credentials if you want to be out here digging dinosaurs, you know?
It's like Ratatouille or something, right? You know, great paleontologist. Not everyone can be a great paleontologist, but a great paleontologist, great fossil hunter can come from anywhere. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. Let me try and catch up with the questions here. Yeah. Oh, we got a good question from D. Maxwell. Say I used to have a ton of actual paleontology textbooks. If you had to pick one textbook, what would it be? Like a textbook to recommend to people, D. Maxwell? Yeah.
For general...
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Dostoevsky has a good general, very general...
On dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading that, when I was in like middle school.
What's it called? Dinosaurs?
I think it's just called, I think it might just be called Dinosaurs. People just call it Fastovsky Dinosaurs, I think.
Fastovsky. Fastovsky.
Yeah.
Fastovsky is the name.
Yeah.
And why Shampoo?
I think it was Fastovsky and Weishampel, yeah. I don't know, textbooks. That's tough. I don't really...
Wikipedia, man.
Yeah, seriously.
It's the best textbook in the world.
It really is. It's constantly updated, and got the references right there, clickable. Like, you can fall into some deep rabbit holes there and emerge much more knowledgeable about a given topic. Like, it's the wealth of human knowledge at your fingertips. It's pretty special. I wish we had that when I was, a kid. Wikipedia really kind of turned into a great resource, maybe when I was in, like, high school. But yeah. It's amazing what, like, young kids can learn about dinosaurs these days now that Wikipedia is a thing. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's see, scrolling through chat. Oh, Claiborne mentioned Kathy Wonkel, who found the Wonkel Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a rancher, local rancher.
Just on a fun hike with her husband, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Memorial Day, 1988.
And one of the best Tyrannosaur skeletons of all time.
Yeah.
The first mostly complete Tyrannosaur arm, or T-Rex arm.
Yeah. Now it's called the Nation's T-Rex. You can go see it in
Smithsonian for
D.C.
the next 50 years.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be there in perpetuity, but officially it's 50 years. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, OK2Play wants to know how Adam got involved with all of these crazy folks here.
The community college. Ethan was taking classes there with me, and he asked around, and I thought, well, if I'm going to play the Who's Dad's Better game when I'm older, then if I say I found dinosaurs, that's an automatic win.
That's a phenomenal answer. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Who's Dad's better?
My dad would beat up your dad. My dad found dinosaurs.
Your dad's way cooler than my dad.
Dad kicked my ass.
Let's see. Oh, and Nell wants to know what's the name of the formation here. The Almond Formation.
Like the nut.
Yeah. Spelled just like the nut. It's, yeah, very, very understudied, as we've talked about. And, yeah, it's a privilege to be here. And we're really excited because it's anything we find is pretty much going to be new. So, yeah. It's really cool to... It can be really cool to work in formations like the Hell Creek or the Judith River, places like that have been well studied for a long time. And they've got really famous dinosaurs in them, but to work in a formation that's not been well explored or well studied, there's something really exciting about that.
Finding a half of a turtle in the Hell Creek Formation would not be cause to
Yeah.
celebrate. But somewhere like this, where everything you pick up has never been seen before, it is a cause to celebrate.
And Quinn, we've got 2 turtles now from your site, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Very exciting.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Situ, it looks like.
Turtleopolis.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. It's complete.
Yeah.
On that rock.
We've got some kind of goofy questions, but it's Twitch, so
Keep it
it's to
up.
be expected. Yeah, as a panel of experts, is Godzilla a dinosaur?
No.
Godzilla doesn't exist.
That's a good answer.
Plantigrade, right?
Yeah.
He walks on his heels. Dinosaurs are digitigrade, so...
Also like this.
Yeah.
Looks like a kangaroo.
Yeah, upright.
Upright. That's...
Drags his tail.
It's bipedal, that's dinosaurian feature. But he lacks... Yeah, he's not digitigrade.
Yeah.
Therefore not a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Maybe some sort of archosauromorph?
I wonder if he has
maybe
an
like
open
a
acetabulum.
Rawasukian or something like that. I could kind of see that.
Possible.
Sure.
We've got some really weird critters. Like Arizonosaurus is
They
incredibly
have
strange.
osteoderms, right? Like the big things down the back.
The dorsal plate, yeah.
Stego.
Yeah. Although, to my knowledge, there are no archosaurs that have osteoderms that light up before they breathe
Lasers out
radioactive
of their
fire,
mouth.
you know?
They're
What about,
fossils.
Lasersaur?
We can't really...
Can't say that they
we
did
can't
it.
really know... Yeah. We
Yeah.
Can't say it.
Doesn't Godzilla also have like a rhinarium?
A rhinarium? What do you mean?
Yeah, like nose leather on a dog.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Sort of, kind of. He also has weird. He has like little external ears.
Yeah,
They're
he's got
like
external
kind of
pinna.
mammalian. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Well, I mean, I was a huge Godzilla fan when I was a kid, and so my standard answer for this is Godzilla is supposed to be a dinosaur. Like in some of the movies, they mention that he's a dinosaur, and also kind of going behind the scenes when Toho Studios, the people that were designing Godzilla back in 1954. They actually used 3 different illustrations of dinosaurs.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. Save the beer. Nice.
I'm okay.
Uneven ground here.
The hazards of field work.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a dangerous job. Somebody has to do it. And
That's the same
every
spot that
day
Quinn
out here
fell.
risking my life just so I can bring the stories back to you.
Keeping the stream
PhD, did I
interesting.
mention that?
Yeah, but you managed to save most of the drink, though. That's
Yeah, that's
impressive.
the important thing. Is in paleontology, you learn a few things and few priorities.
Yeah, what were you
It's
saying?
got to be the spot because it's right where you fell.
It totally is. That's absolutely it. It slopes backwards right there. Yeah.
It's crazy because like from this perspective,
looks good.
it looks flat and good. And, like, you guys both fell for like a long time. It like, took a while before the fall came in. I gotta
Don't-
sit there tomorrow and see what it's like.
Laugh now. The spot will come for you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's meet tomorrow.
We'll have to switch off. But yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
We just like lose half the
I think we doubled our viewership.
These guys are hilarious.
see, scientists are human beings, you know?
Slapstick comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, the whole point of these streams is to humanize science and to bring people in.
I
And
should like pick up one of those boards and turn it around like on the Three Stooges.
yeah. Somebody right in the face of it, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, Diatoms Attack just showed up, who is a
Whoa.
diatomist. He works on fossil and extant diatoms,
Okay.
Whoa.
and he streams on Twitch.
That's what's up.
I forget where he teaches, but he teaches also.
Diatom University.
Presumably, yeah. Yeah.
Diatoma, Illinois.
Nice.
Is that a real town?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Potentially.
Might as well be. You could have fooled me. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, to wrap up the Godzilla thing, it was the Rudolf Zallinger's Age of Reptiles mural. The Tyrannosaurus and the Stegosaurus from that the designers were looking at. And they threw in some iguanodon features too, some iguanodontian arms. So they just made this weird chimera of a creature. But yeah, that's how Godzilla came about.
I think
Yeah.
my days are numbered with this chair. I mean, this thing is.
That does not have a back on it, right?
It's no back. I weigh about 400 pounds. It's wobbling.
We've got a proper camp chair for
We
you, don't
do.
we?
We do, but it's, you know.
Is it in the truck?
No, it's right there.
It's right there under the tarp.
I just need to.
Living dangerously.
I need to work on my posture. Is probably what it is. Let me check the questions. See if I can find it.
But yeah, yeah. And Invisible Dimension says, hello, beautiful rock wall there. Shoot, you should see the rest of the outcrop. Stuff that's got dinosaurs
This
in it.
ain't nothing.
Yeah,
Although it is beautiful.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wonder if we'll get a really nice sunset like we had last night. So. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like a standard question that's like almost cliche is like, how did people get into paleontology in the first place? Yeah. I don't know, Nick, would you want to talk about that? What first brought you to fossil science?
I started reading a lot of books about evolution and paleontology back in high school.
Uh-huh.
So Stephen Jay Gould and
Nice.
Jared Diamond is more evolution than paleontology, and then like
I got one.
Walker's Dinosaur Heroes. He's got me interested in Greg Paul's Predatory Dinosaurs of the World. And just kind of during college, I just kind of kept up that interest and started looking at fossils and reading papers and stuff. So I guess always, yeah, interested in evolution, interested in fossils, and
Nice.
how did things. I guess I had this sort of intuition that like studying evolution, if you really want to know how evolution worked, instead of just like say looking at the evolution of a moth or a bird or something like that in the present day, you kind of need to look back over millions of years. And I think the more I've studied evolution, that kind of instinct I had back in high school actually is, I think it was kind of right, that because over hundreds of millions of years you see crazy things happening you just wouldn't see in modern environment today.
Yeah.
Things like asteroid impacts, for example. So we kind of do need to really look back through evolution, understand the big picture.
That's a great answer, yeah. So, you weren't like a dinosaur-obsessed kid either. This was something that was a little bit later in adolescence, maybe.
I mean, a bit, yeah. I
Yeah.
like dinosaurs. I don't know. I don't think it was like when I was 10 years old, that was what I knew I wanted to do. I actually had no idea what I wanted to do.
Huh.
I liked dinosaurs a lot. I didn't think I could ever actually do it. I didn't think it would be. I thought I'd suck as a scientist. I figured it'd be I wouldn't have the patience for it and be way too boring. And I did like an internship at the Smithsonian. I guess between my junior and senior year of in college. And I was in the bird division actually working on fossil birds. And that was when I finally realized, like, oh, hell, I want to do this. But yeah, I didn't really think I had what it took to be a scientist for the longest time. And then I finally kind of came to the point where I'm like, well, I couldn't really see myself doing anything else. So
Very cool. Yeah.
yeah, I guess you don't necessarily have to make up your mind from day one.
That's reassuring to a lot of people, I'm
And-
sure.
And it's
yeah.
okay if you don't know what the hell you want to do with your life. And after many years, I still don't know what I want to do with my life. Probably something to do with science, but I'm like, I don't know, what am I working on tomorrow? Is it mosasaurs or tyrannosaurs or something else? I've got interested in human evolution. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to be in 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, that's totally normal.
Nice.
I hope it's normal,
Nice.
because if it's not, damn it. I should have things more figured out by now.
Yeah. Fisher, you want to share?
So, I originally wanted to do zoology when I first started college, and so out of high school, I volunteered in the Chesapeake Bay working on a population study for diamondback terrapins.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. Very cool.
On one of our off days, we went and visited the Calvert Cliffs, which is a Miocene marine deposit, kind of famous for whales and sharks and stuff. And I found a little piece of whale bone and some shark teeth, and I had a lot more fun there than I did actually working on the turtles and being bitten and crapped on and eaten alive by insects all day. And so while I do still have a profound love for zoology and evolution, I really kind of enjoyed the paleo aspect of that trip. And so I decided I might as well take some geology classes in my freshman year of college. And after that I got a lab position working on digital preparation, and from there it's history.
Nice. Yeah.
When you were a kid, you weren't that into it?
No, I was totally into it. That's why I wanted to go into zoology.
Okay.
But paleo was not the track I wanted to go on.
But you had an interest in paleo, but it was sort of peripheral.
Yeah, it was like paleontology is a profound impact on how we understand evolution and ecology and all that kind of stuff. So I was very interested in it for that reason. But it was not my primary interest going into college and what I thought I would do as an adult.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Ethan?
Yeah, basically, probably since first grade.
Yeah.
It's been into dinosaurs, and that's kind of just been it.
It's a similar story to mine, I think.
It got me into everything else. It's not like I didn't start with something else that eventually led to dinosaurs. It was like dinosaurs led me into being interested in science generally, and evolution, and biology, and geology, and the outdoors in general, and exploration, and history, and everything. So it's kind of a gateway into many intellectual interests.
Yeah. I mean, dinosaurs really are like a gateway drug into science, yeah. I mean,
It's always free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, just take up one dinosaur. Just stop and just do just one, that's all.
Just name one.
You can stop, just name one.
First it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
cool.
my turn.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of similar to Nick. I also didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And kind of found geology and paleontology right around college, where I was always obsessed with like natural history, always watching like natural history documentaries and going to museums and stuff. And when I was going to college in high school and getting into senior year, I was thinking about majors and what I wanted to do. That's kind of usually what happens. But I basically wanted to become an archaeologist. I wanted to work outside. I wanted to do things not really in an office and secluded. And so I found a college that had an archaeology program, and so I visited it, and I wasn't impressed with their whole building. It was in the dingy basement.
They usually are, yeah.
I liked the college, so I ended up going there at a different major. But my freshman year, I took a geology course, and my professor was amazing, and he was like a paleontologist himself, and just telling us all about these cool stories about of fossil hunting and like digs he's gone on, and I got hooked, and I basically dropped my major and picked up geology major immediately, and the rest is history, I guess. But,
nice.
So I'm doing a little catch up, but
yeah.
I mean,
this is the place to do it. Holy cow!
There's some there's some youngins out there that probably know more than me at this point.
But you're out here.
I'm out here.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm loving life. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's really neat how learning about geology for the first time from somebody who's really passionate about it can really just kind of change your life.
Yeah.
Like you just see the world in a different way, and
I already had that like in the back of my head of just like I love this stuff so much, but it, like for some reason didn't seem real to me as like a real position, and then as hearing somebody who actually did it, being from New York, not a lot of paleontologists out there.
Yeah.
And not a lot of dinosaur bones, and so like hearing someone who actually did it as a profession, and it kind of turned me on to be like, okay, that's definitely possible to do something like that. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
love what I do.
Yeah. Well, Adam, you're not really in paleo, but like,
Nope, I just
Yeah.
had to be the coolest dad.
and you will be. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. Let me see if I can catch up and see if there are any more.
I'm sure you've answered that question before on your stream.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shoot. Yeah. So, if anybody's new, I'll just go through it real quick. My parents sometimes joke that when I was really little, maybe like 2 years old, I decided I wanted to become a paleontologist the same day I realized I couldn't grow up to be a dinosaur. So yeah, that's really the only thing I've ever really wanted to do, and I've been profoundly lucky to be able to actually pursue that. Yeah, and it all really started, I read all kinds of dinosaur books and everything when I was a kid. That was always what I wanted for Christmas and for my birthday and everything was more books on dinosaurs. Read every book that the library had and everything else. This is kind of before the internet was really a reliable source of information on these things. But what really, really got me started was when I was able to volunteer at the Museum of Paleontology in Berkeley, my freshman year of high school. And basically, every day that I wasn't in school, I was there at the museum volunteering, as long as it was a weekday, There were a lot of times I actually skipped school. Don't tell any of my old teachers that, but I would cut class and take the train to the museum and volunteer there and hang out with paleontologists and prep fossils and curate things and work in collections and do outreach and all that good stuff. So if anybody asks me like, how do what's a wonderful way to what's a good way to get involved with paleontology as a young person, or maybe as not a particularly young person, talk to some paleontologists. Go where the action is. Put yourself in a museum. If you have the wherewithal to volunteer at a museum, see if you can do that. If you don't come from an economic position where you can volunteer your time, see if you can just get a job in a museum. Custodial staff or working the front desk or something like that. Just putting yourself where the action is counts for a lot. So I think that's the best piece of advice I can give anybody who might want to pursue this in their life. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. And Anthem Ono, welcome to Paleontologizing. I don't recognize your name. I look like a giant because I am way up close to the camera.
And you're huge. Very tall.
Not really, no. But yeah.
Everyone here is we're all medium-sized, I've noticed. Every person here.
Quinn's
You're
pretty tall.
pretty tall.
Yeah.
6'2". That's pretty. Oh, you
That's
are? Yeah.
that's pretty.
Nice.
It's pretty tall. Yeah.
That's tight. Anyway.
We have a running gag on
Bye, bye.
my channel that I'm like 3'9". Because when I meet people in person, eventually, I don't want them to expect me to be taller.
I thought you'd be taller.
This spring on the screen.
But yeah. Otter Do It says, how about a middle-aged person? I have a stable career, but would love to volunteer somewhere, maybe
Get in there.
weekends.
Get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got a local museum, talk to the people there. Write some emails.
Almost half of the people that I've done fieldwork with were volunteers over 60 or 70.
Wow.
I mean, probably almost half.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and honestly, like, it's wonderful for museums to have young people as volunteers, but oftentimes museums are, like, more eager to recruit people who are middle-aged because, I don't know, they tend to stick around for longer. They don't go off to college. They don't move away. And they're generally just kind of, stable. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, yeah.
Whatever excuse you have, whether it's age or background, if you're interested and you have some energy to give, people should be able to take you.
Yeah. Good advice. Yeah. Oh, Nell wants to know, does the crew here know about Tradoon, which is a dumb meme that just kind of came to life.
It's one of those Traduntids.
Exactly, yeah. We were watching a video one time.
Deinonychosaurs.
Occasionally I'll watch kind of like a clickbait video on YouTube about dinosaurs. It's just kind of for kicks and giggles. And yeah, there's this one time, and the woman hosting it was, she was doing like a top 10 list of the 10 weirdest looking dinosaurs. And number 8 was, well, none of them were particularly weird looking. I don't know, there were a lot of very normal looking dinosaurs and a lot of non-dinosaurs on the list too. But number 8 was Troodon, and I could not stop laughing. Almost fell out of my chair because she pronounced it Tradoon, and just the enthusiasm, the ebullience in her voice was, so yeah, that one moment kind of solidified into a meme, and it took on a life of its own.
Is it technically wrong? I mean, I know it's not what we say, but is it actually wrong?
There's like 5 different ways that I've heard Troodon pronounced by professionals.
Would work, but Tradoon.
Yeah.
I don't see how you get there.
Troodon?
Yeah, I've heard.
It's not that weird.
Well, you need 2 O's, don't you? It's D-O-N, right?
Troodon.
So there's no ooh anywhere.
Well,
I mean,
you could have an ooh ahead of the D, but not after the D.
But yeah, that's the thing.
Troodon.
It's Tradoon.
Yeah.
Which means after the D, so that means that must be wrong. It's for sure wrong.
yeah. I mean, it is wrong. Yeah.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
no one says it
We
like
could
that,
name
but
a
I'm trying
dinosaur
to like. That's a good point.
One of the species you found
We
out
totally
here.
should. Yeah.
I did find a fragment the size of my thumbnail.
If you donate enough money, we will do that.
We'll find a
Are
Troodontid
we
and
that-
name it
are we
genus
willing to sell out to
Tradoon.
that level?
We're that desperate.
Maybe in the turtle Tradoon. I don't know.
I might be, yeah. Yeah.
Ask us
Yeah.
when we're running out of ramen.
Adocus Traduni.
But yeah. Well, shoot, because I've heard Troodon, and I've heard people say Troodon, and I've heard people say Truodon also.
Trua, Troa, Troa. Wait, what is it?
Trudon?
True.
Truodon.
True, Troa, Troa.
Troodon. I say Troodon,
Is
but
that
I
even
do
a
too.
valid taxon anymore? Because it's just named on a tooth.
I don't
yeah,
think it is. I think
that's
now
the
it's Stenonychus
first one of the first dinosaurs named from North America back in 1856, I think.
Wow, was that
Joseph Leidy?
Leidy?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but the holotype is just a tooth, and it's not very diagnostic.
They have, as dinosaurs go, they have pretty diagnostic teeth. But yeah. What that tax? I mean, most of the things called Troodon are probably not that species.
Mhm.
For sure. Is it from the Judith River, right?
We think it's from the
believe
Judith River, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So most of the things called Troodon are from like Dinosaur Park or Tree Medicine or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So
That one might be Old Man equivalent, though, because I think it's supposed to
Okay.
be pretty low in section in the Judith.
yeah.
But yeah, that was Ferdinand Hayden who collected it
Oh, wow.
back in 1854, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how good his
Stones
notes are.
while running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
I got a biography on him that I need to read. Interesting guy.
Is the cover like typography lines?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I have the same one.
Yeah. I think I saw it on your shelf, actually.
I think you got it for me.
I don't think I did.
In Moab.
I might have, yeah.
Nice. Didn't that bookstore in Moab get flooded like the week after we left?
Whoa, really?
It's right there on the main street. I remember seeing footage of the water just rushing down Main
Flooding
Street.
good,
and-
huh? That's crazy.
Man.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's a great bookstore.
It was a great bookstore. Holy cow. I spent way too much money there. But it was worth it. That's where I got that Sankar Chatterjee book. I think it's called Rise of the Birds.
Yeah.
And half of the book is about Proto-Avis and how it's that's the true first bird and all this. It's really interesting.
Wacky.
Yeah.
Where are
But
those,
it's about how birds are not dinosaurs, basically.
where are those guys now?
Chatterjee and
The bandits. What are they up to?
they're not all still around. Like Larry Martin.
Larry Martin passed away, but
Yeah. It was like 2013, I think he died.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Chatterjee is now no longer thinks that that Proto-Avis is a bird. Yeah. But I don't know about like
Fiducia.
Fiducia. Yeah. I don't know if is he still published? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but he got a lot right too.
Fiducia did?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the first people to notice that like birds have this massive turnover to KP boundary,
Hmm.
and so
Yeah.
I did a paper on that a number of years ago, where,
Uh-huh.
which basically it's just like he threw out this hypothesis, and no one had really gone in with the fossils and kind of like showed it in detail the way that was actually what was going on. But yeah, I mean, a bunch of stuff like that. I mean, win some, lose some, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can't always be right.
You can't always be right.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you'll never get anything wrong is never get anything right either. Never stick your neck out. So.
Yep. Speaking of getting things wrong, we were talking about this a while ago. That book by
Hubble? Edwin Hubble?
Fred Hoyle.
Fred Hoyle.
Yeah, the famed British astronomer. Do you know about this, Nick?
It's just like panspermia or something, or
It has to do with that.
Okay.
But it's the book is called what is it?
Fossil hoaxes?
It's called like Archaeopteryx something. Basically, the premise of this book that he wrote with another author is that Archaeopteryx is fake.
yeah,
That it was a hoax, and that birds did not exist during the Mesozoic. That like alien space viruses came down to Earth and caused birds to arise after the end of the Cretaceous.
Is he just hurting for money? Or?
It's incredibly weird because the guy was a really well-respected scientist. Yeah, I think the book was called Archaeopteryx: A Case of Fossil Forgery. You should look it up.
Yeah, that's right.
But
for sure.
I've got Bill Clemens' old copy of that.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
And
pretty
like it's
sweet.
yeah.
Did you bring it out here? Or
Well,
did
I didn't bring it out
notes.
here. No, I didn't want it to get destroyed, but I could.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's wild. And Bill's notes are in there too in the margins, which is really funny.
He's like, this is genius.
But there's a bunch of like he's kind of, I don't know. He was writing the notes for himself, but you know,
Yeah.
not to show to
I mean,
anybody
at the
else.
same time, like, I mean, Hoyle did some huge things in astronomy, didn't he? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not an astronomer. I forget.
Well, I think he was a steady state guy, right? He wasn't.
Yeah, but I think he made. Yeah. Again, not an astronomer.
But it's
But
really
he's
interesting
made
that you
bigger
could be.
contributions than any of us ever will.
Certainly.
I'm not trying to disparage the guy. It's really interesting how somebody
Yeah.
who's very well respected in the field and makes significant contributions.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they can be so completely wrong about
I
something
think
else.
it's a non-trivial number of scientists who like to make massive major contributions, then go off and do something kind of crazy and kooky later.
Yeah.
And maybe it's that willingness to take intellectual leaps and be a bit daring and break
Mhm.
out of the mainstream. You know, it also means you're more likely to just kind of go a bit, I don't know,
Linus Pauling did that.
you know.
Or later, like after he'd won a Nobel Prize for was
He's
it
still a little
chemistry?
overconfident too.
Yeah, he like published all these things about how like vitamin C can cure all diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah, like vitamin megadosing was his big thing, and there's just no basis for it.
Wow.
But yeah. So
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, what you're saying, Nick. And it's what's amazing is that the better someone is at something, the more glaring their faults seem to be.
Huh.
So I've often found that with people that I really admire, the subtle things that may not be perfect about them become glaring because they stand in such stark contrast to the things that are amazing.
interesting. Yeah.
So then suddenly you start judging someone for not being an absolutely perfect person
I get that.
instead
yeah.
of just like appreciating the great parts, you know.
Also, if you have big achievements, if you contribute things that are well respected, you have more of a platform than other people would.
Yeah.
So you can get a book published that
Yeah.
says that Archaeopteryx is a forgery.
And you also have people being less willing to push back against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these
Well, he
yes
got all
men.
these other things wrong. Who am I to tell this guy that got a Nobel Prize? Who am I to tell them that, you know? Yeah, it's complicated though. But I think if you want to make major advances, you have to be willing to take risks and be a bit of a head rock thinker and you know, think outside of the box, to use a cliche. And that those properties in certain cases that can lead you to some amazing new discovery, and can also lead you to some like crazy kooky stuff. And I mean, again, it's easier to sit here from our perspective and criticize those guys, but like, you know, I not won a Nobel Prize, and so maybe I need to think some even crazier thoughts than I usually do.
Well, there is no Nobel Prize for paleontology, so I don't know.
Should be.
There should be, yeah.
There's not one for geology.
No, nor evolution.
Is
It's
there
just
what-
medicine, economics, and
Chemistry, physics.
chemistry and physics. I
There's
think
no
are
biology.
not to my
That's
knowledge.
crazy.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
Yeah.
let's add a few new fields to the Nobel.
yeah.
Let me crowdsource this.
Yeah,
How much money do we need?
we're all connected, right?
You know a lot of people in Switzerland.
Let's
I'm sure
write
we
some
can make
letters
this
to
happen.
Sweden. Is it Sweden or Switzerland?
I want to say it's Switzerland.
That was Norway.
Sweden, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it Norway? I think Fisher's right. I think it is
Well,
Norway.
We both have the same answer.
Closer.
I
Closer
think
to
our
Switzerland.
vote
Yeah.
together makes it in Sweden.
This is
Wherever it was before this
From now on, it's
wherever
Sweden.
wherever it was before this conversation, it's now in Sweden.
Chat, you could look this up at home and put it in the chat. But
And
Yeah.
start writing emails to them.
Yeah.
Obrajo says it is in Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah.
That's where we get
Okay.
that syndrome.
All right, yeah.
That is true.
Do you guys feel like you have any Stockholm syndrome out here at all, or you guys feeling good?
Doing pretty good so far.
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
We talk about leaving, he hits us.
Not until you found a holotype. Then you can go.
One microsite per day per person.
Per person.
You will earn your dinner tonight.
The ceratopsian skull is missing the parietal. No food for you.
Oh, and okay, so our official answer, I guess, is that Sweden is all prizes except the Peace Prize, but Norway is the Peace Prize only.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, not bad.
Yeah. Oh, and Dinosaur Dave, welcome back. It's good to have you here.
Dave.
Yeah, Dinosaur Dave hails from Australia and does those Lego models of dinosaur skeletons,
That's what's up.
which is pretty neat. Yeah, I need to give your contact info, Dinosaur Dave, to somebody I met at the conference last week, because she works at a Lego store in...
I feel like a lot of what I need to know from paleontology, I learned from playing with Legos. Like,
Really?
several hours a day as a kid.
Yeah, I was
Putting things
huge into
together.
Legos as a kid.
Searching for that one part.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I need to, like, go through a whole box of Legos. I need to find this one thing to make the spaceship work.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think it helped with the, like, 3D...
Spatial reasoning, yeah.
Spatial reasoning, assembling things. This phone goes there, that clicks there.
Uh-huh.
I think it was,
I totally agree, yeah.
I think it was useful somehow.
Also, just that persistence, where it's like, I
Yeah.
need to find this one thing. I know it's there.
There's that one
I'm not
part.
gonna give
I know
up.
it came in that set. There's that one part. I need to
Uh-huh.
finish this thing.
Yeah.
Somehow
That's
I'm
really
gonna
fun. I've
find
never
it.
really thought about that before, but it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Dinosaur Dave, I need to give your contact info to my colleague that I met there. But yeah. And Dinosaur Dave, I've not built the Triarchunkus model yet. No. Our Hell Creek Alverasaur, Dinosaur Dave made a set of instructions and sent me all the pieces for it.
Oh,
I did not put it together before I left, so that's something to look forward to for when I get home.
that is awesome.
It is
I'm
pretty
gonna
cool.
Watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Triarchunkus?
Triarchunkus.
Triarchunkus.
Yeah. And he means Captain Hook
Nice.
Cool.
because of the,
Yeah.
the thumb claws.
The Alvarez sword.
Yeah.
That's tight.
But yeah. What were we talking about earlier?
Nobel Prizes.
Oh yeah.
Northern Europe.
But yeah, and I do have my ukulele here, Miss Yvette, but I'm not going to take that out right now. I'm not going to subject these guys to that. At least not this early in the season.
Whip it up. Take it up. Take it up.
Not right now. Not right now. I haven't even finished eating yet. But yeah,
You can't eat and play ukulele at the same time.
and sing? No.
That's true. That's fair enough.
Seems like you need to practice more.
Eating, not the ukulele. Yeah.
I need to get one of those like helmets with the beer cans on it and the
Nice.
straws, but just put
Exactly.
like a smoothie in there.
Yeah, protein shake.
Yeah.
Spaghetti smoothie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smoke getting you good.
Oh,
It was getting me
we're
earlier
getting
too.
Obliterated over here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Just means the fire likes you.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
That means I'm gorgeous.
Are you looking at chat there too?
I just opened it.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah. Quinn, I remember you saying that you felt validated by somebody in chat saying like, yeah, that guy looks like he's got really good taste in music.
I did feel validation.
Quinn's very much into music, so yeah. He could chat with you about that all day.
Good.
Yeah, do you play anything?
No, I suck. I listen to a lot of music.
Okay.
I should, but
You know a lot about music.
yeah.
Yeah.
I should learn.
If you could learn an instrument, or if you were forced to learn an instrument, what would you choose?
That's a good question. Probably electric guitar.
Electric guitar.
Well, I mean, guitar in general.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah. Play like Jimi Hendrix. That's probably what I
Nice.
definitely
That's what everyone
wish I
would
could
aspire
do.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Play it behind my back, light it on fire. And,
Play with your teeth.
yeah, play
Yeah.
with That'd be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Or keyboard. I don't know. It's,
But yeah, yeah. Mikey Lake says, didn't you know physicists have solved the problem of smoke always going in people's faces at campfires? How did they solve that?
I mean, a smokeless fire pit.
Just a propane flame.
How would you have a smokeless fire?
I don't know, but
Because-
I bought one, and I don't think it really works, but, like...
Oh, a smokeless fire pit.
Yeah. So it, like, vents out from the bottom or whatever. I honestly
Huh.
don't know how it really works, but...
It sounds good right now, though.
We should
Shoot.
buy one, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Ethan,
yeah.
how much money we got?
Or we could use propane. Yeah, Clearburn. No, it's really nice being able to have a campfire out here. Like, very few times out of all my years in the field have I actually had a proper campfire. So this is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely a perk.
yeah. And we don't have to worry about fire right now because everything's so green and so wet. Goodness.
Life is good.
But yeah, yeah. I think I might wrap this up pretty soon. So if anybody has any pressing questions, don't hesitate. Get those in right now. But yeah, what are we working on tomorrow? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Tomorrow,
As your eyes fill up with smoke. Sorry.
Yeah, this is great timing. It's something to distract me. Tomorrow we're going to be working on Nick's site that we think is a ceratopsian. And hopefully we'll be able to figure out if there's a good percentage of that guy still on the ground.
Nice.
And we'll probably also spend a bit of time working at a site that we found a duck-billed dinosaur, parts of a duck-billed dinosaur skull. So we'll be looking around there and seeing if we can find more bones sticking out.
Nice.
Yeah, so lots to keep busy.
Yeah, yeah. I got to see both of these today. You guys actually found where the bones are kicking out of the hill for the ceratopsian, which is exciting. I mean, shoot.
That kind of worked exactly as it's supposed to.
Yeah, you
Nice.
follow them up and then you go right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find a bone, you find a few more fragments, you follow it up, you go in, and it's there, and it looks like we've got a decent chunk of the animal potentially.
Potentially,
It's spread out over a couple meters, which implies there must be a fair amount there. So far, all the signs are good, but don't count your chickens.
yes.
Yeah. I'll see if things work out, I might be able to stream from there tomorrow.
Sure. That'd be great.
Not showing anything up close that would be unwise to show because this is going to be a new animal potentially. But just to kind of give you a sense for how we dig up dinosaurs. Been talking about this for a year at this point. Streaming from a quarry, and I think that would be pretty neat. So yeah, we'll see. Or maybe I'll do the Hadrosaur site tomorrow.
It comes out with a paintbrush.
What's that?
The ceratopsian is just like a paintbrush.
Yeah.
It's very soft mudstone.
The most just obliging matrix I've ever seen at a dinosaur site, I think.
We also
Just-
pulled out a big vertebrate today. Did we mention that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Shoot, I don't think we did. Yeah, we got that jacketed and pulled that out. That's down in the truck, or else I would show it.
Yeah.
But yeah, big old
Big backbone.
yeah, from an
some-
ornithischian dinosaur probably.
Some herbivore.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice to be able to get my hands back in the plaster, and me and Adam did that, and went pretty well. When I was actually getting ready to flip it, the thing just fell over off the pedestal, and we're really, really lucky that nothing broke. But yeah, it was, I don't know, we were digging pretty intelligently before then, so it's not like that was a happy accident 100%. It's because we set things up really well. And
Life's
Yeah.
all about setup.
yeah, yeah. We got our first jacket of the summer, and yeah, things are good. Excited to jump into things tomorrow. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Fat Muffin Man, who is new here, says, Dinos rock, man. Neat stream. Thank you.
Big time.
I appreciate that. Did we just get a raid or something? Let's see. Oh, maybe not. We've just got new people trickling in. Awesome. Well, with that, I am going to see if I can find somebody else to raid right now, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully, I'll be streaming from the quarry tomorrow. If we can even call it a quarry. It's, we're just kind of starting off there.
Sandbox.
Yeah, it is really like a sandbox. It really is. Yeah. Let's go right into Science Streams. We'll go say hello to a fellow scientist. Balint is a systems biologist and molecular biologist. Molecular and systems biologist, I guess is the proper way to say that. But we'll see what he's working on right now. Let's see here. Pull up the chat. And raid science.
I know.
Streams. There we go. It'll be a minute until this actually goes through everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's see. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Holy cow. Again, we would not be here right now if it were not for your generous support. Everybody who contributed to the experiment.com fundraiser. So thank you again. Deeply, deeply grateful for your support and your enthusiasm and your viewership. Hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow. You can tune in then. And, until next time, you all take care of yourselves.
Have a good one. Thanks for all your help.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Bye-bye.
Next time.
All right, let me just get this turned off real quick. Because after the raid goes, I still have to turn the camera off and everything. So we're still live for the next couple seconds. Let's see here.
The bottom of your shoes melted.
Oh, is it?